Konene. So jana nilicheki a very interesting post and this post ilifanya mpaka niende kwa ChatGPT na niende kwa Google Gemini. Yes, ni try to get to the bottom of this story. And wacha nitakwambia how ChatGPT ilisema. So kuna msana jita Sir John KE on Twitter alibaki ameandika, I still insist only a fool can believe the story of a 72-hour tree hugging marathon. I know when you ask questions wanasema unasikia wivu, but haijalishi. Bwana, you cannot go for 3 days without peeing. How now? You'll rupture your bladder. Bwana, hii mchezo ya town and cloud chasing tunaijua. It is simple. Since you did it, you can do it again. Call media to bear witness and bring the whole thing live. There is a reason why her handlers chose Nyeri. Ingekuwa Kanairo, hiyo scheme yote inge backfire since people would not leave her side. Ado Anyoba can do anything to achieve some goal. Very clever people. So hapo, hiyo part ya mwisho, I don't agree with it. Has some tribal connotations to it. Alafu akabaki ameseti image ikakuwa ni only a fool can believe that that story of 72 tree hugging marathon. And so this had me question, like I think the first time really Bonga Joy story, I asked if she'd eaten and if nikapatia an example, I think nikasema that ingekuwa my situation I'd need a diaper because there's no way utaniambia statumia bathroom for 72 hours. But then I had to take this point that this guy said. He said no one can go for 72 hours without urinating. Yes. Without poo-pooing, it means yes, that's possible. So I had to Google and see, because mimi ni zile raya bado zina believe Google is the greatest library in the world. You might disagree, it's okay. Then nikauliza Google, is it possible to go 3 days without using the bathroom and without peeing? Nilikuwa nataka specifically without peeing. Then ikakuwa, going 3 days without urinating is not possible for a healthy person, and it is a life-threatening medical emergency. A healthy person produces and eliminates urine regularly, yes, to remove waste products and excess fluids from the body. Then ikakuwa urination facts. Normal frequency. Most adults urinate 6 to 8 times a day, or roughly every 3 to 4 hours. But I guess tunachukua nini. Then ikakuwa bladder capacity. An adult bladder can typically hold up to 2 cups. That's around 400 to 600 ml of urine. Then ikakuwa normal urine output. A healthy adult typically produces between 800 ml and 2000 ml of urine per day. So this means that this girl had close to 6 liters of urine. So the questions that tunanid kujiuliza is, was she wearing a diaper? I remember when I asked the first time, I was joking, but this time I'm not joking. Was she wearing a diaper? And then another thing pia nataka kuangalia saizi before I continue ni if the Truphena record here 72 hours, has it been recognized by Guinness? Yes, been recognized by Guinness. Because sasa what I did was now to go and ask AI. So what was I asking AI? I used 2 images from AI, and AI ilinipatia very different answers. So this is interesting, sindio? So tukiangalia story ya kuwa recognized, you have to wonder why hasn't Guinness mpaka saizi, why haven't they recognized her? Because nimeuliza, has the Truphena record 72 hours been recognized by Guinness? Kakwa the attempt by Truphena to record 72 hours for the longest marathon hugging a tree has not yet been officially recognized by Guinness World Records. Here is the current status report. Ikakuwa ni 72-hour attempt. Her 72-hour is currently awaiting review and verification by Guinness World Records. She is expected to submit the necessary evidence for this feat. Previous record, Guinness Records has officially ratified her previous record of 48 hours. So in the 48 hours, I'd want to know, did she pee? Did she do anything? So in 72 hours, those questions come up. And I have to put this disclaimer that when we ask these questions, is it not because it's not about player hating her, it's about trying to understand the human body. The human body is always secreting something. And I'd want to know, how did it secrete nothing in 72 hours? Did she pee on herself? These are the questions we have to ask. But now AI is a very fair arbiter ikikam to his story. So I used 2 AIs. Nilitumia ChatGPT na nikatumia Gemini. And what can I report is one supported her and the other did not support her. So let's start with ChatGPT. So with ChatGPT, what I did is I took the 2 photos. So kulikuwa na 2 photos that were there of her hugging a tree. And I found these 2 photos to be super interesting because there was one photo where the tree looked a little bit big. Ile, hapo kuna kahiga na mwangalia. And then there was another photo where the tree looked a little bit small. But the clothing was the same. So nikauliza ChatGPT, is this the same tree? It was a very simple question. Then ChatGPT kasema, I can't be 100% certain, but it's very likely the same tree based on visible details. Kasema, what matches? The bark texture looks identical in both images, the gray-brown with similar roughness and patterning. Then kakwa the lichen mottled patches on the trunk appear in very similar shapes and distribution. The trunk thickness and shape are consistent. Because that's what I was asking. Like if I look at these 2 images, one inakani kama she's not hugged the whole tree. And her arm zinakani kama haziwezi shikana on this other side. And then on one, she looks like she's hugged the whole thing. So I didn't know that. But tuendele, the setting, green grass, landscaped area, similar background, and vegetation aligns. Then what's different? The photos are taken from different distances. One image is wider with people around. The other is a close portrait style shot. Given these similarities, it's reasonable to conclude that both these photos show the same tree and photographed at different moments and perspectives. So I had to ask ChatGPT, what about using her arms versus the tree size? Because I'm a good point. Arm span versus tree size actually strengthen the case that it's the same tree. It strengthens the case. Here's why. In both images, her arms do not fully wrap around the trunk. There's a visible gap, meaning the tree is wider than her reach. Okay, ChatGPT. ChatGPT unasema nini? The relative thickness of the trunk compared to her forearms, her torso width, her shoulder span is very consistent in both photos. Then ikaendelea, in the closer photo, even though perspective can exaggerate size, the trunk still appears to be roughly 1.3 to 1.5 times the width of her chest, which matches the wider angle of the group photo. Her hands placement, height, and how much of the trunk her arms cover is nearly identical, suggesting the same diameter. Okay. Then ikakuwa, if it were a different tree, a smaller tree would allow her hands to overlap or touch. A larger tree would visibly dwarf her arms more than what we see. Then it can conclude that using her arm span as a natural measuring tool, the proportions line up very well. This strongly suggests it's the same tree photographed from distance, different distances and lenses. So according to ChatGPT, it's the same tree. Because to me, apart from looking at the scientific impossibility of going 72 hours without peeing and without shit, unless alikuwa amejistarve, which now means, will she have the energy to stand? Was she drinking water when she was holding this tree? There's a lot of questions we have to ask ourselves. Does it mean that for these 3 days, 72 hours, she didn't eat, she didn't drink any water, and she still had the energy to stand for 72 hours? Stand for 72 hours. Damn. So these are a lot of questions. And these 72 hours you're standing, you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not... But it can happen. The human body is crazy. So according to ChatGPT, at least it comes to the same tree, ikasema that's the same tree. But sasa tuende tuangalie Gemini. What does Gemini say? So with Gemini, I'd seen what ChatGPT ilikuwa imesema. So nikaamua go specific so that I don't keep asking Gemini the many questions. Nikauliza, is this the same tree? Use everything from the tree details to her arms wrapped around one tree to the arms holding a small section. So the same 2 photos ndio nilikuwa nataka kutumia hapo. Kuna hiyo moja ile unaangalia kama mehold, alafu kuna ingine. Why? Because according to macho zangu, and I wear spectacles, so I may be full of shit, but this is not the same tree. I felt like one tree is wider than the other. and but ChatGPT told me to F off, and I was like, sawa. So Gemini ikaendelea, based on a detailed analysis of the two images, it's highly unlikely that they depict the same tree. Here's a breakdown of the differences in the tree and the girl's interaction with it. First of all, ikakuwa ni bark texture and color, very rough, deep vertical fissures, dark brown and gray. That's on the first one. Then ikakuwa kwa image 2, smoother texture with horizontal ring like marks like a palm or coconut tree. So kuna shindwa gani? The thin one ndio image 1, alafu the wider one ni image 2. Then tukaendelea, trunk girth appears to be a much wider and older tree, image 1. Okay, the girl only covers a small portion of the circumference. Okay, oh damn, make a mistake. Image 1 was actually the group photo, the one with a lot of people. So this is image 1. So according to this one, the image 1 hapo amehang mti ile iko na girth. I don't know if they needed to use that word. Okay, poleni. Alafu ikaendelea hiyo ingine, image 2 appears to be a slimmer tree, the girl's arms wrapped around a much portion of the circumference. Then ikaendelea, trunk shape and taper, the visible trunk is quite broad and straight. Hiyo ni kwa image 1. Alafu kwa ingine, the trunk appears relatively slender and uniform, possibly suggesting a younger tree or a different species. So conclusion is different trees. Then ikaendelea, girls interaction and pose, image 1, one arm, the left one is visible, resting on the side of the trunk. The right arm is obscured by her body but is not fully wrapped. The pose is more of leaning and holding a section. Alafu hiyo ingine ni both arms ziko wrapped around. Then ikasema conclusion, different poses. Then visible area held, only a small vertical section of the tree is being held. Hiyo ni kwa ile ameshika very small, ile place kona kahiga. Alafu hiyo ingine, her arms encompass a significant portion of the circumference, indicating a much slimmer tree. Then ikakuwa different interaction. Then ikasema the combination of significantly different bark texture, trunk girth, the different ways the girl is interacting with the trees strongly indicates they are two separate trees. Alafu ikasema, would you like me to try and identify the possible species of each tree? Wacha niseme hivyo. Yes, try and identify the tree species. So let me know, man, are we is Google Gemini player hating? Alafu is hiyo ingine. Yes, so wamepatiana jo. Damn, hii nini jo inakuja na majibu haraka jo. Okay, so inasema that image 1 inasema the tree in the group photo is characterized by the very thick, rough, dark and deeply fissured vertical bark. The large girth suggests a mature older tree. Possible identification, Meru oak ama Vitex kenensis. Yes, and image 2 inasema characterized by a much smoother, lighter colored bark with a prominent horizontal ring or scars. The slender uniform is a key feature. Probable identification a palm species. Then ikakuwa ni coconut palm, which I don't think it would be. Date palm ama oil palm. Hizi zinakuwaga huko kweli? I don't know, man. But in summary, the first tree is likely a hardwood with thick fissured trunk, possibly Meru oak or croton, and the second is almost certainly a palm species. Would you like to know more about the girl in the picture, Truphena, who's known for her tree activism? Not really. So let me know, man. Like yes, wacha niulize sasa nini Gemini, is it possible to go inaitwa nini jo 72 hours 2 hours without 72 hours standing, yes, hugging a tree without sleeping, sitting without sleeping, sitting or drinking water, because I don't know how she was surviving. Like alikuwa na dishi, hakuwa na dishi. Like these are the things that nini. Okay, so this is an excellent question that touches upon the limits of human endurance. While it's medically possible to go 72 hours without sleep, the condition of also going without sitting and critically without drinking water makes the complete scenario extremely dangerous and medically impossible to survive without severe stroke permanent harm. So I don't know, was she drinking, and if she was drinking anything, can you actually drink and not go to the toilet and not have a diaper? Is that possible? So these are the questions we have to ask, and hakuna mtu anauliza this cause of anything. It's just zile za mnajuaga, I'm a science person, like I love science, and there's some things that look impossible to me, but I'm also a fat dude. Najua Ash is very slim, so maybe there's something that she can do in her sleep. So I don't know, man. So then ikakuwa like, regarding the Truphena Muthoni achievement, activists who successfully complete long endurance challenges, especially those monitored for world records, must be allowed essential breaks. A proper world record attempt include mandatory scheduled breaks, often 5 minutes every hour or longer break every 8 hours, which the participant must be allowed to drink water and eat to prevent dehydration. So maybe this is what happened. Use the restroom. Okay, rest through and not sleep, blah blah blah. So I don't know where I heard that story of she'd not used the bathroom in 72 hours. Was it something that people said online? Was it something that they need? So niambieni jo. Personally, what do I think about the whole scenario? I found the whole scenario to be like, I was happy for her, but I was also sad for the country. I was sad for the country because the fact that the things that make us happy, like the fact that she even ended up like meeting the president just based on the fact that alihaga mti, inakuonyesha vile hatuko serious kama nchi. I know kuna wasa atachukua like hey, but yes, like other countries are doing like crazy stuff. There's no way sisi like a whole president should be somewhere meeting someone because they hugged a tree. Like it's just one of those things that show that we are not serious. But still, I understand. Najua, I understand, like, yeah, we are not serious, but let's hug a tree. Ekonene. So the festive season is here. Na Lemfi wako na a very great offer kwako. Abaki umesign up ukitumia the promo code Ekonene, and on your first transaction ya $50 ukisend home, unabaki umepata a $20 sign up reward. Najua, $20 sign up reward on your first transaction of $50 only. Why? Because it's the festive season. Baki umechangamka, tumia promo code Ekonene, ingia Lemfi, why? Upate the most competitive exchange rates, alafu pia inakuwaga ni chap like transactions ziko instant. Changamka haraka haraka, Lemfi, international payments for everyone. Ekonene. Najua like we are jobless and we are whatever. So niambie hapo kwa comments, am I a player hater? Because najua kuna raha zinakosaga zinataka kuita mtu hater like the minute that you start nini. This was a very interesting debate, that's why I delved into it, and that's why I gave you 2 results. There is ChatGPT that fully believes she was able to achieve this. I've not asked ChatGPT hiyo swali if it's possible to go 72 hours without nini. So wacha tuulize ChatGPT, is it possible and to go 72 hours sindio without damn man, kutype saa zingine haraka inakuwaga ni shida. Without without peeing, drinking water and sitting. Chatuone. Let's see what comes into mind. Kasema short answer, for most people, no, it's not realistically or safely possible. The human body needs water constantly to regulate blood pressure, temperature, kidney function and brain activity. Then kasema without water, severe hydration usually sets in within 24 to 48 hours. By 72 hours, risks include kidney failure, confusion, shock and collapse. And not peeing for 72 hours, This is extremely dangerous. If the body isn't producing urine, it often means acute kidney failure. If the urine is produced but not released, the bladder can become over distended. Then kakuwa ni risk of bladder rupture, severe pain, infection. Alafu ikakuwa ni either scenario is a medical emergency and not a feat of endurance. Then not sitting for 72 hours, standing or staying standing or moving continuously for 3 days can cause severe leg swelling, muscle breakdown, and risk of blood clots, DVT, fainting, and falls. Even soldiers and endurance athletes cannot safely do this without rest. So I don't know. Tell me, what was she able to achieve? Was she sitting down? Was she taking the mandatory breaks that even apparently hapo Guinness wanatakaga, you have to take breaks like every few hours? So was she doing all that? Yes, and the question being, am I player hating me? Najua like kwezi kosa kuna raha iko udemiko in her early 20s, Buddha, you're in your 40s, you have achieved nothing. So since kuna msee nikushua amesema hivyo kwa comments, acha nikalia kwa choo iko nene.